God is good?
All the time.
All right, now I know I'm pretty good. Bishop, thank you for bringing everyone here today. Thank you for coming here. I'm going to go over how the President's Jobs Plan specifically helps African Americans, but I just want to just say that piece of paper, those papers that you had in your hand, that's your shield. That's your sword and your shield. When folks ask you, what is the president doing? What are the president's priorities? The simple answer is the American people, real people. This isn't about class warfare. This isn't about the rich and the poor. This is about America and its priorities. And at the end of the day, America is about building each other up and sticking up for the most vulnerable among us. As many of you know in your churches, I grew up in a small church in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and Bed-Stuy. And you know, every Sunday, you know, it's about giving back to your community. And this president, that you want to talk about his roots, it's not about, you know, what you're hearing on cable TV. It's not what you're hearing about in the news. You guys are smarter than that. You guys know we've been attacked before, and we know how to look through the smoke and mirrors to know what the truth is. The gospel, right? So when folks say, oh, the president doesn't care about black people. Okay. This president has his roots in the south side of Chicago. Let's say that you guys don't know who lives in the south side of Chicago. Look to your left and look to your right. See, the president doesn't know how to say the word poor. The president doesn't know how to talk to low-income folk. I looked at this bill, and before some folks said that we had to go out and say, okay, what's in this? What's the American Job Bill? I looked at it, and this is what I saw. I saw 1.4 million African Americans who are currently unemployed being affected by this bill. This bill is specifically targeted to the unemployed. So what does that mean for African Americans? So if African Americans are the highest group to be unemployed right now, and the President's Jobs Act that he did in front of a joint session of Congress, prime time, is focused on the unemployed, who does that affect?
All right. Do the math.
So I don't understand how someone can say that the president isn't looking out for African Americans. Maybe folks want him to say African American, African American, African American. Saying the word African American isn't going to change everything. It's the president's policies that's sending the message and sending the help. When the president met with Mark Morial, he meets with faith-based groups. He met with Ben Judge from the NAACP. They spoke to the president just a couple months ago and said, this unemployment and discrimination is hurting our community. The president came out 2 weeks ago and said, we are going to make it illegal for folks to discriminate against long-term unemployed. Not only will we do that, but we will create tax incentives to those businesses that are going to hire long-term unemployed. Now, maybe he could have put African American in front of it. But when we know that African Americans are hurting disproportionately, and these policies are helping the most vulnerable Americans, then we know he's looking out for us. When we talk about the president going to bat for our young people to go to school, they shouldn't be focused they shouldn't be worried about, you know, how they're going to pay for school. Pell Grants are a dire need. I used Pell. When I went to NYU, I needed a Pell Grant to pay for school. I need to focus on the books.